land of Moab trembled. A vast sea of people had camped on its borders. Israel, the nation that had just crushed mighty kings. They had come out of Egypt, walking through the Red Sea on dry ground. They had defeated the Amorites, and now they stood at Moab's doorstep. King Balak of Moab watched with fear. He knew his armies were no match for Israel. So he turned to another weapon, words. If he could not defeat them in battle, perhaps he could curse them. And for that, he needed a prophet. Far away, Balaam was known for his strange power. When he spoke blessings, people prospered. When he uttered curses, nations crumbled. His reputation stretched beyond borders, and Balak sent messengers with gifts of gold and silver, pleading for his help. "Come at once," the messengers said. "Curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for us. Perhaps then we may defeat them." Balaam listened, but instead of answering, he sought the Lord. That night, God spoke. "You shall not go with them," God said. "You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." In the morning, Balaam sent the messengers away. "The Lord has refused to let me go with you," he said. Balak did not give up. He sent more princes, wealthier than before. "Let nothing hinder you from coming," they begged. "I will give you great honor. Whatever you say, I will do." Balaam hesitated. He knew what God had said, but his heart longed for the riches before him. He told them, "Even if Balak gave me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord." But still, he invited them to stay the night while he asked God again. This time, God permitted him to go, but with a warning. "Only the word I speak to you, that you shall do." At dawn, Balaam saddled his donkey and set out, his heart torn between obedience and greed. As he traveled, something unseen blocked his path. His donkey, usually obedient, suddenly stopped. Balaam struck her, urging her forward. But the donkey veered off the road. Balaam struck her again. A second time, the donkey halted, crushing Balaam's foot against a wall. Furious, he beat her harder. A third time, the donkey stopped, this time falling beneath him. Balaam's anger burned. He raised his staff to strike again when suddenly, the donkey spoke. "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" Shocked but too enraged to think, Balaam shouted, "Because you have mocked me. If I had a sword, I would kill you." Then Balaam's eyes were opened. Standing before him was an angel, sword drawn, fire in his eyes. "Why have you struck your donkey?" the angel asked. "I stood in your way because your path is reckless before me. If not for your donkey, I would have killed you and let her live." Balaam's fury melted into fear. He bowed low. "I have sinned. If it displeases you, I will turn back." The angel's voice softened. "Go with them, but speak only what I tell you." Balaam arrived in Moab, where King Balak waited eagerly. Together they climbed to a high place overlooking the Israelite camp. "Curse them for me," Balak commanded. Balaam lifted his hands, but instead of cursing, a blessing flowed from his lips. "How can I curse whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce whom the Lord has not denounced?" Balak's face darkened. "What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies, and you have blessed them. We must try again," he insisted, leading Balaam to another place. Again Balaam spoke, but again he blessed Israel. "God is not a man, that he should lie, nor a son of man, that he should change his mind. Behold, I have received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot revoke it." Balak's frustration turned to rage. "If you will not curse them, at least do not bless them." Yet Balak tried a third time. Again, Balaam opened his mouth, and again, blessings poured forth. "Blessed is everyone who blesses you, and cursed is everyone who curses you." Balak could take no more. "Enough! I would have made you rich, but the Lord has kept you from honor." But Balaam had no choice. He had spoken only what God allowed. As Balaam turned to leave, however, greed still lingered in his heart. He could not curse Israel, but he whispered to Balak, "If you want them to fall, send your women to tempt them. Lead them into sin, and their God will punish them himself." Balak took Balaam's wicked counsel. The Moabite women seduced the Israelites, drawing them into idolatry. A plague swept through Israel, killing thousands. Balaam's fate was sealed. Though he had once spoken the words of God, his heart had been divided. Later, when Israel conquered Moab, Balaam was among those slain. His story remains a warning. No one can fight against God's will, and no one can serve both greed and righteousness. The voice that once blessed became silent forever.